Hi, this is Sakala Debras and welcome to another edition of Art Talks with me, Sakala. Today is the first of a three-part series in which I will be discussing female artists of India. This is not a topic that's discussed a lot. We have a lot of fantastic female artists in India, and together I decided to put a small but succinct list together for this. I was quite surprised actually. I reached out to all my female friends, of course, and I asked them to send them their list of what they thought was the best artists in India. I asked art galleries, I asked art collectors, and I asked artists. So I'd like to thank Sangita Chopra from Art Musings, Mumbai, my friend Vallery Puri, artist extraordinaire, and collectors Parveen Sikand and Shaleen Virmani Karnik for this. Thank you so much for your lists. I asked a lot more people and some of them are still taking time to get back to me, but it's okay. Why is this topic so important? I think that we have not celebrated our female artists enough. But let's not delve into that. Let's dive straight into the topic. In the onset, let me say, it saddens me to say this, but I myself have no female artists in my collection. So I would like to start this collection and this entire series with, of course, my favorite person among the female artists, which is Amrita Shergill. Amrita Shergill is considered to be India's greatest female artist. She died at the age of 28, very tender age, in Lahore, at that time undivided India. She was half Punjabi and half Hungarian and born in Hungary. Her artistic life could be divided into two parts. That where she painted when she was abroad, because she studied abroad, and that when she painted when she came back to India. Both completely different types of ideas, and both Amrita Shergill. She had a huge body of work which she had left behind in her tender age. So there is the Hungarian-inspired, European-inspired paintings of Amrita Shergill, and then there is the Indian-inspired. Amrita Shergill moved back to India with her family, and she lived in Shimla. While she was in India, she got swept up by the Quit India movement and met people like Jawaharlal Nehru, and also got influenced by Rabindranath Tagore and his nephew Abhendranath Tagore. She then painted a lot of India-centric paintings, out of which some of these paintings have gone on to set world records in auction houses. Here's the funny thing. She was not everybody's cup of tea. She actually approached the Maharaja of Mysore, the late Wadiyar, to paint his portrait. And he actually refused her in favor of another Navratna, Raja Ravi Verma. Maybe it was fashionable or whatever his reasons for, she couldn't paint a lot of people. Amrita Shergill's body work included a lot of village scenes out of Punjab where she was settled and where she came from. And she imbibed the earlier ones were about Hungary. And here are a few examples of her artwork. The next artist I'm going to be speaking about is Sunyani Devi. People don't talk about her much, but her contribution to Indian art is spectacular. She was the niece of Rabindranath Tagore, the sister of Abhinandannath and Gagendranath Tagore, and she also influenced somebody like Jamini Roy. Funny that all of them ended up being in the Navratna and she wasn't. She started her artistic career very late, at the age of 30, and she died in 1962. At the time that she started her career, she got influenced by the Kalighat and the Patachitra form of art out of Bengal. So a lot of her earlier paintings would have elongated eyebrows and hooded eyes, which showed both divinity and nobility in the Patachitra paintings. She had a particular technique, which was the color wash, where she would paint an outline in black or red and then painstakingly paint the insides with watercolor. This was then dipped in water, and when the excess water flowed away, the painting that was left was ethereal and kind of had a ghostly feel to it. I know of this technique because my mother painted like this. My mother was also a self-taught artist, exactly like Sunyani Devi. And I think that we need to celebrate people like her. And I wish she had also become a Navratna like her brothers and her uncle, because she really contributed, without us realizing, a lot to the art forms of India, especially if she was in direct touch with Jamini Roy. I remember visiting a grandaunt of mine in the 1990s, and she had this massive portrait of women in a 9-yard sari, rural women. And I remember asking her, who is this artist? And she said this artist's name is B. Prabha. B. Prabha studied at JJ School of Art. She had a very evocative style, and she represented the rural women of India. She painted the rural women of India very well. She was from Maharashtra, and she died in the year 2001, leaving behind a massive legacy and a huge body of work. She had exhibited internationally, and even to this day, Sotheby's and Christie's have record sales of her B. Prabha painting. So I think she's somebody you should be looking at and you have to study if you were looking at Indian artists, female art. My next artist is the daughter of Binod Bihari Mukherjee and his wife Leela Mukherjee. Both artists in their own right, but their daughter decided to choose a slightly different path, and she followed her mother. She was the sculptor Mrinalini Mukherjee. She studied both in Baroda under the likes of K.G. Subramaniam and went on to study in the UK. Her art form was larger than life, huge installations. She worked in metal, she worked in hemp, she worked in wool, garnering international recognition for her art form. Her art over the years developed, and they have set up a foundation called the Mrinalini Mukherjee Foundation, where you can actually go and see her artwork. It's in all the huge museums around the world, and in India especially, you can see them in most auction houses being sold. She was a very well-established artist in India and very well recognized in the art community. She was inspired by nature, by natural forms, and everything that you see was very sculptural when she did her work. Larger than life, huge personality, huge work. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Mrinalini Mukherjee. My next episode is going to be also about female artists, and I will try and cover a few more of the female artists. Today was a short excerpt on what female artists in India are all about. The idea of this podcast, when I do these podcasts, is that I share with you information that I have learned, but I also would like you to give me feedback on what you know about the artists. I don't claim to know it all. I don't ever. I want to turn around and tell you that I would like to share information and also get information, but keep it positive. It's good for everybody. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next podcast. And like and subscribe for more. My YouTube channel is Sakalaslife, and my Instagram channel is The Bold and the Brassy. But you can also find me as Sakala Pacho de Brass and on Instagram, and I will be posting these regularly. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. This is Sakala Pacho de Brass signing off. Thank you so much.